Representation of geographical feature of the earth. So in this chapter we will study how geographical features are represented on map and globe. Geographical features like mountains, plateaus, valleys, hills, rivers, these are deserts, plains, these are all the geographical features of the earth. So before that we need to know the meaning of geography. Geography has been derived from two Greek words, G, which means earth, and graphein, which means to write. That means geography is to write or describe about the planet on which you live, as well as the geographical features of the earth that influences our life on a day-to-day basis. Like the people living in mountains, they have a different kind of lifestyle. The people living in plains have a different kind of lifestyle. The people living in deserts have a different kind of lifestyle. So in this way, geographical features influences our day-to-day life. The earth is the only planet in the solar system that supports life. It is the home of human beings. Thus, it is very important for man to know and to investigate the features, the geographical features that varies from place to place. Like mountains, they vary from plains vary from plateaus vary from deserts. So in this way, the geographical features vary from place to place. Where are these features located? How to get there? How far are they? So in order to get answers to all these questions, we will study about the globe to get the answer to all these questions. So what is a globe? The globe is a three-dimensional true model of the earth. You can see here the globe. It is a three-dimensional, means you can see the entire globe. This is one side. If you turn it, then you can see the other side of the globe. So it is a three-dimensional representation of the earth. And the earth is actually 40 million times bigger than the globe that you have at your home or in your classroom. The globe is mounted on its axis. You can see the 2 points over here. So it is the axis of the globe which helps the globe to rotate freely. Similarly, our earth also has this kind of tilted axis. It is very important. The axis of the earth is always tilted, which helps the earth to rotate freely on its axis. Then the globe shows exact shape of the oceans and continents present on the earth. The globe is very much helpful in showing us the exact shape of the oceans, the water bodies, as well as the continents, that is the landmass of the earth. Then on the globe we have these parallels of latitude. These are the imaginary lines, and the meridians of longitude. So on earth also we have this kind of imaginary lines, and these imaginary lines on a globe helps us to locate various places of the earth on the globe. Because of these imaginary lines, that is latitudes and longitudes, we can locate various places on the globe. It shows different physical features of the earth, like you can see the land masses, you can see the water bodies. So these physical features are represented on the globe. So this globe is very much helpful for us. It provides us the truest possible information. But despite of all these advantages, we have certain disadvantages or drawbacks or limitations of the globe. So these are all the disadvantages of a globe. First is, it is very expensive. The globe is very expensive. A map you can get it at a very reasonable price, at a very cheap price, but globes are very expensive. At one time we can only see one part of the earth. You can see here only this part of the globe. In order to see the other side, you have to turn the globe. Once you turn the globe, the back side will come front and the front side will go back. So at a time you cannot see the entire globe. You have to keep on turning it to see parts of the earth. It is also very heavy and awkward to carry from one place to another because of its size. Big size, it is very heavy and we cannot carry it. It is not possible for us to carry the globe from one place to another. A map, you can fold it, you can keep it in your pockets and bags, and you can carry it wherever you go, but this does not go with globes because it is heavy and bigger in size. It does not show small information. On globe, we cannot see small detailed information of a place. For studying continents and water bodies, this is perfect. But for studying small places, like I want to study New Delhi, so the globe will not show you any kind of information, detailed information of New Delhi. So this is another problem we have with globe, and it is also very difficult to handle because of its bigger size. So in order to overcome these shortcomings, maps are developed. So now we will study what is a map. This is a map. A map is representation of the earth on a flat surface. You can see this paper is flat, so representation of the earth on a flat surface with the help of a scale. Maps are always drawn with the help of a scale. Like for example, so first let me say you what is a scale. It is the ratio of the actual distance on the ground and the distance on the map. So for example, you can see the distance between Odisha and Haryana. So here in this map the distance is some centimeters, but originally Odisha is not few centimeters away from Haryana. Odisha is some thousands of kilometers away from Haryana. So that thousands of kilometers has been reduced to few centimeters on a map, because drawing thousands of kilometers on a piece of paper is not possible. So this is done with the help of a scale. This reduction of distance is done with the help of a scale. That is why in order to make maps, in order to represent maps, it is very important that we take the help of a scale. Map is actually the conversion of three-dimensional features of the earth into two-dimensional showcase of the earth. We are converting the three-dimensional features of the earth to two-dimensional so that those features can be easily presented on a flat surface of a map. Now we have these three broad categories of maps or types of maps. First is physical, then political and thematic maps. So what is physical map? First we will study what is physical map. This map that you can see in your book, figure 1.4, this is a physical map. The map that shows you the physical aspects of the earth. Physical aspects like mountains, then plains, then plateaus, deserts. These are the physical aspects of the earth. And the map that shows you the physical aspects, that map is called a physical map. Here, how can we know that the physical features has been represented? We can know it by these colors that are used. Various colors has been used all over in this map. Like the brown has been used for mountains, green for plains. You can see blue thread like structures are there. They are the rivers, the water bodies. Here also water bodies represented in blue. So these are the various colors used to represent various physical features of the earth. So this is a physical map, and physical maps are small scale maps. Small scale maps means the scale has been reduced so we can see our country as a whole. We are not getting any detailed information because we are seeing this country as a whole. We are only getting the information regarding the physical features because the scale has been reduced. So that is why these maps are small scale maps. Then next comes the political maps. The political maps. The figure that you can see here again is figure 1.3. This is the political map, where you can see from the name itself we come to know that this kind of map shows you, gives information about different places. Like in this map we can see the states, their capitals, various important cities has been written. So these are the this is a political map. In political map you can see the countries, their capitals, states, districts, etc. So this is a political map. And most importantly, the places are segregated from each other using this kind of demarcation lines. You can see these kind of lines. They are the demarcation lines, or you can say them the boundaries. These boundaries are used to separate one place from other, and these demarcation lines are used in political maps. Then comes the thematic map. As you can see here in this map, the map that shows you different kind of themes. They don't show you physical features or political map like places and all, but they show you some kind of themes. Like in this map, the theme is temperature and pressure. So in this map you can see the temperature and pressure of various places. Another thematic map, that is rainfall and wind. In this map, the theme is rainfall and winds. So these are the various kind of thematic maps. The maps that show you any kind of themes, that is called thematic maps. Another example of thematic map that I am giving is you can see the humidity, rainfall, monsoon and climatic regions. So this is another kind of thematic map. These maps again does not show you the political places or the physical features, but they are based on themes. Another example of thematic map that is given is topographical map. It is given in the book, that is figure 1.5. This is a topographical map and this is also an example of thematic map. Here you can see the detailed information of a particular city. So this kind of maps, topographical maps, are large scale maps. Here you can see the detailed information of one particular city. Large scale maps means the map has been exaggerated. The scale has been enlarged to show you detailed information of one particular place. Like here you cannot see any kind of detailed information in political map, in physical map you cannot see the detailed information, but here in topographical map you can see the detailed information. Now let us discuss the difference between globe and map. The globe is spherical in shape, but map is a flat representation of the Earth's surface. It is three-dimensional and it is two-dimensional. Globe shows us the exact shape and distance between land masses, but map distorts continent shapes and size. Distorts means it does not show us exact shape and sizes of the continents. What are the globes and maps used for? To know the locations of various places of the world, we use globes and maps. So globes and maps are used in order to locate various places of the world. The globes are better than a flat map because a globe is more accurate than a flat map as it shows the true shape of the Earth's surface. As we already studied, the globe shows us the exact shape and size of the Earth, the shape and size of the continents and water bodies, and also the exact distance between these land masses. So it also represents accurate distance between land masses. For these advantages, globes are better than a flat map. Still, we have some advantages of maps. We have the significance of maps. First is, maps are useful to study only a part of the Earth. On a globe, we cannot study one single part of the Earth. We have to study the entire Earth as a whole. But map provides us the advantage of studying parts of the Earth like country, state, continent. We can study these parts and we can also study the detailed information of these parts from a map. Maps are the representation of or a drawing of the Earth's surface on a flat surface. So as you have already seen, the maps are represented on a flat surface. Thus we can study the Earth as a whole. We need not keep, like in globe we need to turn the globe in order to study it because it is three-dimensional. But map does not have any such kind of problem because if we study the world map, like this is the world map. This is the world map. It is entire Earth has been represented on a flat surface. We need not turn it. At a time we can study this entire map. We need not keep it turning it to study part by part. On a whole we can study the entire map. This is world map which is represented on a flat surface. So this is another advantage that the map provides us. And the third advantage is maps provide us more information than the globe. As we have already studied, the maps give us more information than the globe because we can make maps of different parts of the Earth, and the scale can also be enlarged and reduced according to our own convenience. So the maps provide us more information. Then fast track. A collection of maps of the world, countries and continents is called atlas. As you can see, this is an atlas. This is an atlas and we have various kinds of maps over here. We have various kinds of maps, a group of, a collection of all these maps. So this book is called an atlas. This atlas was actually first published by Dutch cartographer. Cartographer is a person who draws maps, and Gerardus Mercator was that Dutch cartographer who first published this atlas in 1595. Cartographer is a person who draws maps, and cartography is the study and practice of map making. The study of map making, it is called cartography, and the person who studies this map making is called a cartographer. Then next we will study, that is components of maps. So you can see these are the components of a map. So what are these components? On a map you cannot see any kind of sentences written over here. So in order to understand map, in order to get knowledge from the map, in order to get information from the map, you need to know the components of the map. These are the components that will help you in studying a map. So first is title. Title is actually the heading that is written on a map to show you or to let you know what information you will get from this particular map. Like rainfall distribution in India, the heading has been written rainfall distribution in India. So that map will show you the rainfall distribution in various places of India. Like in this map, in all these maps you can see the title has been mentioned. The title has been mentioned in various maps. So this is the title of the map. From the title itself you can come to know what information you will get from that particular map. The next is the scale. As I told you, it is the ratio between a unit distance on the map to a proportionate distance on the ground. For example, if the distance between place A and place B is 1000 kilometers originally, means on the ground it is 1000 kilometers, it is represented as 1 cm on a map, because drawing 1000 kilometers on a map is not possible. So it is represented as 1 cm. So what it is done, this scale is mentioned on the map, that is 1000 kilometers equal to 1 cm. So whenever we see this scale, we come to know that 1000 kilometer on the ground has been represented as 1 cm on the map. So this is the scale of a map. Then types of scales. First is the statement scale. The unit is mentioned in statement scale. You can see the units are mentioned: 2 cm, 2000 kilometers. So these units, cm, kilometer, these are the units represented in statement scale. The statement scale has also other names like verbal scale or verbal statement scale. These are the other names of statement scale. For example, 2 cm is equal to 2000 kilometer, means originally on the ground it is 2000 kilometer, but on the map it is represented as 2 cm. The next scale that we have is linear scale. Linear scale is a very common scale. Most of the maps are based on linear scale. You can see the example of linear scale. A line has been, straight line has been drawn, and it is further divided in terms of distance on the earth. Like the upper portion has been written as centimeter, the lower has been written as kilometer, and this represents the linear scale. Like 100 kilometer on the ground is 1 cm on the map, 200 kilometer on the ground is 2 cm on the map, 300 3 cm, and so on. The next scale that we have is RF scale, that is representative fraction. RF is representative fraction. In RF scale, units are not mentioned. You can see in RF scale the units are not mentioned. Like here you can see the RF scale is 1 cm is represented by 2 kilometers, and this will be represented as 1:2000. So in this way RF scale is represented. You can see here there is no units mentioned here, like units were mentioned in case of statement scale and linear scale, but no units are mentioned in case of this RF scale. In RF, numerator is always 1. Numerator is always 1, but denominator varies with the size of the map. This is the denominator which keeps on varying according to the size of the map. So this is the RF scale. So these were the 3 kind of scales. Now we study the difference between small scale maps and large scale maps. As I told you, political and physical maps, they were the small scale maps, and topographical map, it was a large scale map. Now we will study the difference between these two. Small scale maps represent large areas of the earth. We can see large areas of the earth, but we cannot see detailed information. We can see the large area, but we cannot see the detailed information. In large scale map, small areas are shown and plenty of detailed information you can see in large scale maps. World map is example of small scale map, whereas road map, city map or topographical map, these are the examples of large scale map. Then direction, this is another component of a map. Have you ever noticed an arrow with alphabet N marked on the right hand side corner of a map? If you can see this map, that is figure 1.9, one arrow has been marked on the right hand side corner of a map. This is a map, right hand side corner of the map. Here this arrow has been marked and written N. It means this is north direction. So once we come to know which is north, then other three directions we can make out. Like if this is north, the opposite is south, then the left one is west, and this is the right one is east. So these are the directions. So in order to know the directions, we need to know what is this symbol. This symbol represents north direction. Then we have this cardinal directions, north south, east west. These are called the cardinal directions. In short, it is written as news. Then we have these intermediate directions. Intermediate directions are the directions in between cardinal directions. That is, in between north and west, it is northwest. Northeast, it is northeast. In between south and east, it is southeast. In between south and west, it is southwest. So these are the intermediate directions. Then conventional symbols. This is another component of the map that you need to know in order to get information from maps. Conventional symbols are universally accepted symbols that we use on a map to represent various features of the Earth's surface. These conventional symbols are universally accepted, means it is same throughout the globe, throughout the world. These conventional symbols are same, and these conventional symbols are used to represent various features of the Earth's surface. These symbols provide a plenty of information in a limited space. As I told you, the map, it has to be drawn on a very small space. The piece of paper is a very small space. So in that small space, you have to show detailed information and plenty of information. And this detailed information can only be shown in the form of conventional symbols. They make a map very simple and understandable. If we come to know, if we have information, if we have knowledge regarding conventional symbols, then map reading becomes very simple and understandable. Conventional symbols are also called map legend. Other name of conventional symbols is map legend. Why? Because they tell the story of the map. Map is some kind of story that you have to know what is written in the map by knowing these conventional symbols, and these conventional symbols helps you to know the story of the map. That is why these conventional symbols are also called map legend. Like legend, they are also called a map key as they unlock the meaning of various symbols. So conventional symbols are also called map key. They are called map legend as well as they are called map key as they unlock the meaning of various symbols. They help us in understanding the meaning of various symbols. So some of the important conventional symbols have been given here, and their pictorial representation is also in this page. So these are the various conventional symbols that are used on a map. These are especially used on topographical maps. With the help of these symbols, we can represent plenty of information on a map. So now next here we have this table that is representing the color codes are also used with the following conventional symbols. So these are the symbols, as you have already seen, these are the symbols, and these are the colors that are used to represent these symbols. Like brown for land features like mountains, black color is used for roads, railways, boundaries, blue color is used for water, red for settlement means houses and all buildings, green for vegetation or plains, and yellow for plateau. So these are the various colors used to represent these all features. Then next we will study, that is grid. A grid is a set of horizontal lines parallels of latitude and the vertical lines, that is meridians of longitude. As I am drawing here, these are the latitudes and these are the longitudes. So the intersection of this latitude and longitude helps us to make a grid, which helps us in locating places. The intersection, this is the intersection of latitudes and longitudes. It helps us to find out the exact location of a place on a map. So this is a grid. Then sketch and plan. Both sketch and plan are different from a map. Sketch is drawing made without using a scale, like you make only hand sketches, freehand sketches. So they are made without using a scale. Those are only freehand drawings. It does not require any kind of scale. It is a rough layout of a place or a building. The picture has been given here, the figure 1.14. This is a sketch. This is freehand without the help of a scale. But what is a plan? A plan is a large scale map with all basic elements. As you already know, what is a large scale map? Large scale map shows us complete information. So plan is a large scale map which shows all the information of a building or of a room or of a house. Plans are used to show small areas with detailed information. As it is a large scale map, so you can see detailed information of a small place. Now here is a comparison between plain map, sketch and plan. A map shows large as well as small areas. On a map you can see both kind of areas, it is large as well as small, and it is strictly based on scale. Map you cannot make without the help of a scale. You need a scale to draw a map. And sketch, it shows only small areas based on rough ideas. No scale is used. In sketch, no scale is used. Then plan, it shows small areas with detailed information and based on large scale map. The scale that is used here is large scale map. So this is a comparison table between map, sketch and plan. Now we have this difference between plan and sketch. Plan is a drawing showing technical details of a building. As you can see here in this figure 1.15, the technical details of a building has been shown in this plan. But a sketch is a freehand drawing often consisting of a multitude of overlapping lines. Multitude means many overlapping lines you can see on sketch, because these are freehand drawings. You can see multiple overlapping lines, one above another. So these are the overlapping lines, and this is a freehand drawing also. Now let's do this exercise. Define the following terms. Globe, 1A globe. The answer is in this lingo box, this one. The definition, this is 1A. Then next is map. Map definition is also here in lingo box. Then political map, it is in page 12 here. This is political map definition, first paragraph, from maps till etc. This is 1C. Then 1D, physical map. This is in page 11, page 11 here. Physical map, this one, and the first paragraph, that is from these maps till etc. This is the definition of physical map. Then next is thematic map. Again it is page 12, page 12. This is thematic maps. Answer is from theme based maps till economy etc. This is thematic maps definition. Then next is cardinal points. So it is page 15, cardinal points, page 15. Here this one, from north to compass. This is the definition of cardinal points, that is 1F. 1G, grid, page 18. This is grid definition, fully grid, definition of grid, that is 1G. Then 1H, plan, you can see it here. Page 18, this plan is a large scale map till information. Either this you can write as a definition, or in Lingo box also you have another definition. You can write either of the definition. Then next is large scale map. Answer is page 14. This is large scale map definition. These 2 points you can write in definition of large scale maps. Then we will start with very short answer type questions. What do you mean by geography? 2A. It is page 9. Page 9. First paragraph. The word geography comprises from here till human beings. That is 1A. This full one. Sorry, it is 2A. 2A answer. Then 2B. Mention any one disadvantage of a globe. So it is in page 9. Limitation of the globe. 3 points are there. Any 1 point of your choice you can write down. Then next is 2C. What do you mean by conventional symbols? Page 15. Conventional symbols. From conventional symbols till Earth's surface. That is 2C answer. Then 2D. What do you understand by RF? Give examples. It is page 14. RF scale. From RF means till fraction. This is the answer, and this is the example of RF scale. Then next, name the various types of maps. Various types of maps. Name only you have to write down. So it is in page 11. These are the names. 3 names: political map, physical map, and thematic maps. Only these 3 names. Then name the important components of maps. Again, you have to write down only the names. It is in page 13. Components. These are the names. Title, scale, direction, conventional symbols. These are the 4 names you have to write down. That is 2F. The next we will do this short answer type questions. What is a scale? Discuss its various types. It is in page 13. First question was what is a scale? So this you will write down in that part, from scale till ground. This is 3A, first part. What is a scale? Then discuss its various types. These are the types of scales you have to write down. First is statement scale. You have to write down the definition. First you will write down the heading, statement scale. Then you will write down the definition. Then next is linear scale. You will write down the heading, linear scale, and this is the definition. It has a straight line drawn to scale that is further divided in terms of distance on the earth. This is the definition of linear scale. The next scale you will write down RF scale. Heading you have to mention RF scale, and this is the definition. From RF means till fraction. This is RF scale. So these are the 3 different types of scales. This is entirely 3A answer. This is 3A first part. This is 3A second part. Then next question. Discuss the significance of a map. It is page 13. Significance of maps. These 3 points you have to write down. That is 3B. Then why are the conventional symbols important for a map? 3C. This is page 15. Conventional symbols. This is the answer. These symbols provide a plenty of information in a limited space. They make a map very simple and understandable. This is entirely 3C. From these symbols till understandable. This is 3C answer. Then 3D. Give a short note on grid. It is again that same answer. Page 18 grid. This you have to write down. Short note on grid. The next question is maps are developed to sort out the shortcomings of globe. This is answer page 13. The significance of the maps. So again these points, these 3 points, they are the answer of 4A. Then conventional symbols are called key of a map. It is page 15. Conventional symbols. This is the answer. They are also called key of a map as they unlock the meanings of various symbols. From they till unlock the meaning of various symbols. This is entirely 4B. Then 4C. The globes are better than a flat map. It is in page that is 12, page 12. The globes are better than a flat map. This whole answer you have to write down. That is 4C. Now comes the difference, that is globe and map. It is in page 12. You can see the difference, globe and map. These 3 points you have to write down. The difference you have to write down. Globe and map. Then there is difference between small scale and large scale map. It is in page 14. Small scale and large scale map. This is the difference. 5B. Then there is a difference between plan and sketch. So it is in page 19. Plan and sketch. This is the difference. 5C. Then 5D. It is physical and political map. So this is the difference. Physical map, and here it is political map, page 12, political map. You have to write down the definition of both the maps and what they show. What they show, like in physical map, they show the physical aspects like rivers, valleys, plains, plateaus, and in political map, they show countries, states, districts, etc. So this is the difference, definition and what they represent. Then next is political and thematic map. So political and thematic map is in page 12. Again, political map definition, thematic map definition, and what they show. They show countries, states, districts, etc. And thematic maps show climate, rainfall, population, railways, roadways, economic, etc. This is the difference between political map and thematic. Now we will write this true, false. Map is a true model of the earth. False. Globe is two-dimensional. False. Tanks and buildings are shown on a map by line symbols. False. Yellow color is used to show settlement on map. False. Plan is rough drawing. False. Now match the following. Plan, answer is large scale map. Brown, answer is mountains. Line symbols, answer is boundaries. Countries, answer is political map. World map, answer is small scale map. Thank you.